This podcast is sponsored by Murgitroyd, intellectual property attorneys. For more information on today's guest and our company, visit murgitroyd.com/podcasts.
Welcome to the fourth season of Murgitroyd's Innovation Talks podcast. We're delighted you've joined us. If you have any questions, you can email us at innovation.talks@murgitroyd.com or via @Murgitroyd on Twitter. And please remember to subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. So let's go straight into today's webinar.
Hi, I'm Beth Marshall. I'm a UK and European patent attorney in our Aberdeen office, and I'm delighted to be with Wendy Crosby, a patent attorney who heads up our designs group in Murgitroyd. And today we're going to have a quick discussion about designs as an alternative form of intellectual property protection. So, Wendy, I think it would probably be useful to start off with covering what do designs protect?
Thanks very much, Beth. Again, happy to be here and be having this discussion with you. I think this is very helpful for people. In the simplest terms, designs protect the outward appearance of a product, and that can be either the three-dimensional shape of a product, or it can be the two-dimensional features of the pattern that's applied to the outer surface of the product.
So could you possibly give us some examples of products that might have a design element?
Absolutely. These are things that we come across every day, all of the time, and often we don't even give any thought to what we're looking at. But your vacuum cleaner is probably a very good example of a product that can have lots of different design elements in it. For example, the overall shape of the vacuum cleaner is likely to be protected as a design, or even the shape of individual components like the dust collection chamber could be protected. Taking a step further again from that, you could even protect the appearance of individual cleaning tools on the vacuum cleaner. Another product that we see and we're all used to using these days are smartphones, and they're another tremendous example of products that can be protected with designs. The shape of the phone can be protected, and also, for example, if you think about the specific appearance of the phone in relation to where the buttons are relative to the screen might be something that's very important. But not only what the phone itself looks like, also thinking about the particular graphical user interface that we have on phones these days that you interact with, what that looks like can also be protected. And even down to the individual icons that appear on the screen of your phone could each in their own right be something that a design relates to.
Okay, so it sounds like there's quite a number of things that could potentially be protected by design rights. So what can a design registration do?
Design registrations allow you to take action if a competitor sells a product that looks either identical to or even very similar to the design that you've registered. And that's actually a very powerful tool when you think about it, because that allows you to get your competitors' goods taken off the market, and therefore you can disrupt their activities, all the time increasing the sales of your own product and building up your business. So if you notice a competitor that's selling something very similar to your products, perhaps they think your products are things that the customers are looking to purchase, and so they want to put copycat products on the market. That's really when design protection comes into its own.
That sounds very useful. So how do you protect a design?
You have to file an application to protect your designs, and the application should include drawings or images of the design. One significant benefit of design protection is that the prosecution cycle is very short because there's no formal drawn-out examination of the application by the Patent Office. So the design could actually be registered either in the UK or in Europe, depending on where you file your application, within a matter of a few days, or at most perhaps a couple of months. I've had a number of applications that I have filed at the start of a week, and we have a design registration by the end of that week.
So does that mean then that you can take action against a competitor very quickly after you've filed your application. I imagine that would be very helpful if you have products, particularly with a short shelf life.
I think, Beth, that's one of the most important features when it comes to design registration protection, because when you consider the longer protection that a patent provides and the longer prosecution cycle, that can be a disadvantage for companies, particularly if you've got products that have a very short shelf life. We mentioned earlier mobile phones, for example. Those are products that are constantly being redesigned, and each mobile phone has a shelf life of somewhere between 3 to 6 months. So if you can get your competitors' products removed from the marketplace while your product is still being sold, that's very helpful in maximising the commercial opportunities for your product while keeping your competitors from selling products that look too similar to yours.
And I imagine that the short prosecution cycle of designs impacts on the overall cost of the protection as well.
Certainly it does do. Design registration is a very cost-effective protection for products because your application passes through the prosecution cycle so quickly. There are very few stages to consider, so very few cost points that clients have to hit. However, once your design is registered, it does provide protection for up to 5 years before you have to consider renewing the registration. You can renew your registration up to 4 times to give you a maximum of 25 years protection. Alternatively, if your products have been redesigned in that time and you no longer need the protection of the original design for your products that are being sold, you could also consider licensing the registration to a third party in order to raise additional funds, or you could sell the registration to them because the registration remains an asset for the company even after you're no longer selling the products in question.
So from everything that you've said, it seems that design registration could be a very, very helpful tool for new companies to get some IP protection for their products quickly while they are trying to grow.
This is one of the most important points I think that we'd raise here, Beth. For new companies, for startup companies who are looking to have IP very quickly that can help them in negotiations with investors to show that they've got assets that will increase the value of the company, it's hard to beat design registration in those terms. Also, for those companies, it's not unusual to find themselves in a situation where they're able to go to meetings with larger companies and show that they've already taken steps to protect their products, which can give the larger companies more comfort when it comes to dealing with them going forward. So often a design registration could give a company the step in the door to a meeting that they might not otherwise have had, and the opportunity to further their own business interests at a very low output for them in the first instance.
Thank you very much, Wendy. That has been a really useful overview of designs and how to register them.
Thank you, Beth. It's always great to raise the profile of designs and to help people understand them better.
Thanks for your time today. We hope you found today's podcast valuable. And don't forget to subscribe to make sure you don't miss any of our future episodes. So until the next time, goodbye.
Our business is founded on trust and collaboration. The subjects we choose for our podcasts are topical and informative. We are always looking for suggestions for new topics for discussion, so if there's an area of IP that you're keen to understand better, please drop us a line at innovation.talks@murgitroyd.com.